salvation doesn't happen until some far distant future date, maybe at the second coming, they also say they believe that he raised the widow's son to life, that he raised Lazarus to life, that he caused a blind man to see, made the dead to, or the lame to walk. And so you think about the cellular regeneration,
right?
The angioneogenesis of new blood vessels forming instantaneously,
the nerves,
the nerves like racing down through those crippled limbs, and yet somehow people will believe that, or say they believe it, and then simultaneously doubt that creative power can't step into our mind when we invite it in, specifically invite it in and just do a slight tweak in our brain, rearrange a couple neuronal pathways. I don't know how he does it. It's above my pay grade, but that he can do that so that we can give up things that have chained us in chains for so many years. And that's the beauty, the wonderful power of the gospel, is that the things that we've wanted to give up for so long, that we know they're chains around us, and yet we still struggle with them.
Yeah.
If we surrender to him and ask him to come in, he will deliver us.
Yeah. In Romans chapter 1, it says that the power of God into salvation. That power is the word dunamis. It is dynamite. I said gunpowder in the firecracker. I mean, it's dynamite. It's power to move mountains. It's the power to overcome. So when we don't experience that, is it his fault?
No.
No, the time of sanctification is entirely dependent on our will to surrender and allow that change.
Okay, so then somebody will say, yeah, but you know what? I've tried to give this up for so many years, and it's just still not working. I don't have enough faith. How do I get more of this faith? How can I have this happen?
I'm going to talk to doctors now.
Okay.
So when you're diagnosing somebody, do you just look at one little thing and somebody says, well, like this is no, what do? You investigate, right? Yeah. What about the symptoms I'm seeing? You maybe do labs, right? You do x-rays, you do all sorts of kind of forensic work to find out what's really going on, why this is happening, why there's a condition, right, with the body.
Right.
The same thing is with the heart of man. I can't do, what is going on in the life? Are you still watching your television? Are you still watching your Netflix? Are you still listening to that music? Are you doing all those things that is opening the door to the devil? Have you changed your diet? Are you doing all the things that God has asked you to do? The little small things, are you just pushing this off to the side and saying, well, that's not important, that's not salvation? Well, if God has asked you to do it, let the Holy Spirit convict you and follow that. But that's usually what the problem is. When somebody says, I've been struggling with that forever, there is a process that you do have to struggle with yourself, with God's strength, to overcome and say no to yourself. But you cannot lay the blame at God's door.
Well, and the other thing is faith cometh by hearing, and hearing by the word of the Lord. Are we spending time in the word of the Lord, or is that the sixth or seventh thing way down on the list of things that are a priority? And it's like, yeah, I'll try to do it this afternoon, but the first thing I've got to do is go to work or something else. I think a lot of times the devil specifically creates distractions. And I think you would probably resonate that this is a common thing in society today from a film standpoint. TV, movies, video games, TikTok, social media, all these different things to try and persuade us away from spending that time. Because if you seek me with all of your heart, you will find me, right?
Right.
It's not just seek me with part of your heart, seek me with 15 minutes of your heart, seek me with all of your heart. The Christian walk, it's not a 15-minute a day type thing. It's a complete life transformation.
I can share a little testimony with you. No names, of course, but there's a young woman that I was studying with, and she had been dealing with pot smoking for I think she was like 12 or 13. It's a common thing. A lot of kids start around 10, 12, 13 years old, and you get to your 20s, 10 years in already, and your brain's, all the trouble that brings, and she just cannot kick it. So this is that thing where she says, I've been trying and trying and trying and trying. And then she came to me one night, we were doing about this over Zoom, and we were in the Zoom study. Her boyfriend was also there too. And she told me that night, she says, I stopped smoking pot. Something, and I said, what happened? She said, I realized that the pot, the Holy Spirit gave her this impression that the pot was what was blocking her relationship with Christ. And she made a decision. She knew in that moment she had to choose either she was going to continue to smoke the pot or she was going to choose to have a real relationship with Christ, because she was struggling with that relationship. And through the Bible study, she became convicted that she wanted that relationship with Christ more than she wanted to get high. And in that moment, she said it was like it went away. She was almost shocked. She says, it was strange. I've never had this experience where I haven't had the cravings. It's like God just took it away. But she said, I made a decision. I told him, I said, I want the relationship with you more than I want the pot. And she stopped smoking. And it was like she was over the moon. She couldn't believe it. She said, I'd struggled with this for years and I could never quit.
Right.
And it was that decision.
And that's